Welcome to the Matchday -1 press conference for the match between Panama and Jamaica in the 2025 CONCACAF Gold Cup. Allow me to introduce at the head table, head coach of Jamaica, Steve McLaren, and player Mikel Antonio. I remind you that for questions, you can raise your hand and introduce yourself with your name and media organization that you represent. The media that are present virtually can request their space by touching the raise your hand button. So we can open the floor for questions now.
Good afternoon, Juancho Villaverde, ESPN. One for the coach and one for Michael. Coach, you came for this Gold Cup as your debut in this tournament with the Jamaican nationals team. What do you think about the level of CONCACAF? Right now, you face Guatemala and you face, after that, Guadeloupe. And those teams, they weren't supposed to fight for the group, and they have shown us, different kind of perspective in that way. And Michael, what it means to you being in this stage right now after all you have passed?
Go on. Last question first.
For me, obviously, it's a bit of a surprise to obviously be back so early, but it's something I worked hard for and the graft that I put in to be here. So I'm happy for the experience. I'm happy to be here again, and hopefully I can keep going out and showing what I can do and show everybody that I'm not just back. I'm back and I'm playing well.
We're happy to see you here.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think I said it after the game, the last press conference. We talked about the level, not just CONCACAF, but also Caribbean as well. There's no easy games now in football. The level, I think, of player, technically, tactically, is a lot better. And I'm very, very surprised. Very surprised. So that obviously is the level of coaching. And, I know Thomas also from Panama. I know the level that he coaches at. So he's worked Panama 5 years. And you can see why they've made progress. So I think, it's like everything. You improve the coaching. You get better coaches. You get better players. And I think that's what the region has done. In Europe, we did exactly the same. No easy games in Europe now, because the level of player, the experience, the leagues that they can play in, the competition, but definitely the coaching has improved the player. And every team now around the world, I think I worked with FIFA 3-4 years ago on an analysis of every country in the world, how they develop their players. Fascinating project. And from that has come extra funding from FIFA, extra coaches going into countries. And what FIFA wanted to do was the level was there and the bottom was there. They want not to increase that, but to bring the bottom up, and especially the top 50 with top 100. And I think you're seeing that now. Everybody's very, very competitive in football around the world.
Mikel, so tomorrow is essentially a must-win for the team to advance to the next round. What is the message you, as one of the senior guys or the veterans, is pushing for the team tomorrow to achieve that goal?
The message is obviously the work, the graft, the shape, because obviously in the last couple of games, we kind of lost our shape and lost our way during the game. Obviously, the qualities that we have and everything that we've done over the past years in the Gold Cup, getting to the semi-finals, getting to the finals, it'll be disappointing for us to not get there and disappoint our fans and disappoint our country. So when we're going out tomorrow, it's not just for us, it's not just for ourselves, it's for our country, and to make sure things are done right and we work from our shape and do the right things, because obviously Panama is a good team, but so are we.
And Coach, in a sense, as I mentioned, tomorrow is a must-win in this to advance. Is there anything you're doing with the lineup? Is this the lineup that you think that would be the A lineup going forward, or are you still working on that? Is this something that you feel like you're just going to go at your best tomorrow and hope for the best?
No, I think, we assessed after the Nations League. We assessed after St. Vincent. And we've been a month now in camp. a week in the UK with 2 games, another 8-10 days in Jamaica with 2 World Cup qualifiers, and already 2 games this. So we are searching for the right squad, the right set of players, the right processes to make sure that we win football matches. The ultimate goal is World Cup qualification. We've got 6 games of that coming up. This is a very important tournament in which we wanted to do well. We said that from the very beginning. And we come to a stage, I've been in tournaments before, it always comes to a stage where the 3rd game is always, you must draw to go through, or you must win to go through, or you have to score so many goals to go through, and you have to relax. So we will wait and see. The main thing we're focusing on is beating Panama tomorrow. That's it.
Hello, everyone. My name is Maria Isabel. I'm part of the creators for Gold Cup. And my question is, what has been the best part of this tournament so far?
I think for me, actually taking part, I think the organisation has been very good, been well looked after, the travel, the training facilities, everybody in the hotel has been. So the organisation of the Gold Cup has been excellent for us. I've enjoyed the experience because I've not done a Gold Cup. I think Mikael may have done, so it's great experience for me. But the biggest thing that I like is I like games. I like the squad together because we're building towards 6 massive games coming up. And so the more time that we've got spending with the players and working with the players, the better for me that I've got experience of them in this tournament, in good facilities, good pitches, and hopefully that experience and what we learn from this Gold Cup will take us forward in the World Cup qualifiers.
This is definitely the best organisation since I've been here.
Yeah.
Since every time I've been in the Gold Cup, the facilities ain't been the best, hotels haven't been the best, but this year I feel like they've really stepped it up with everything they've done. We've got proper pitches, we've got proper hotels, so this year I'm really impressed with how everything's been run.
We do have a couple of questions virtually. Let's start with Jason. Go ahead, Jason. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Coach and Mikel. Jason Hall, Jason Guna TV. Coach, I've made an observation of you coaching the team, and there have been times in the match when you decide to go and watch the game in the stands. My question to you about that is, how is your communication with the rest of your technical staff when you're up there? And just speak to some of the advantages that you see for going up there. And Mikel, for you, first and foremost, I just want to say congrats for making it back onto the pitch. I've been following your rehab and everything. It's amazing what you've been able to do. I just want to ask you mentally, how important was it for you to get out there in that first game and make a couple sprints, change direction, get challenged? And how has your body really responded to those things?
No, it was very important for me, to be fair. The very first game, actually in just preparing for it, getting on the coach on the way to the game, I felt a bit lost. I felt a bit nervous. It was like the very first time playing football again. Obviously after the experience that I've been through. So even when I was in the changing rooms, I was kind of just walking around. A couple of boys said, "Mikey, you're right." And I was kind of zoned out. But obviously when the opportunity came to me, I got to go on the pitch. Yeah, the first sprint, the first touch, obviously the challenges I've been used to because I've been training for quite a bit. Kind of just got me back into it, and I was just it's like muscle memory. I got back to used to it, just body was ready for it, and I was excited. So the adrenaline's carried me through, and since then, obviously after the games you get a bit stiff and you got to warm up and make sure you look after the body right, and that's what I've been doing. So each game I'm there, ready, raring to go, and wait for an opportunity to come again.
The first question, Jason, obviously, it's a very good one. You always have to assess when playing an opponent. You do a lot of preparation and a lot of work. The first 20 minutes of any game are the most important in both halves. So it's important that we know what's going on with the opponent and if there's any problems or anything that we need to adjust or move. And sometimes, normally, generally, I'm used to having some analyst up in the stand and communication through headphones that you can communicate, and they generally tell you what's going on the first 20 minutes. We were very fortunate in the UK because we had tablets on the bench. And I see the USA with about 3 or 4 tablets on the bench, so I'm a little jealous. But I see tablets, and we used to use them on the bench, where you can actually see the game in real time at an angle from above and see what's happening tactically. So it's just gathering information. And information then is power in which you can change things, or things are going well, or certain things just need tweaking. So it's I found the best solution, I used to do it a lot, was the first 20 minutes to sitting in the stand, and then I could come down and communicate with the team or the coaches and get 1 or 2 opinions. Unfortunately, that hasn't worked because that's cost me money. I've learnt this morning, so I'm not allowed to do that. So it's just getting a bird's eye view above what's happening on the field, putting some kind of logic to it, and any changes needed. So I could do with communication, I could do with tablets, but we haven't got them at the present moment. Hopefully, these are things that we need to acquire for the up-and-coming World Cup games.
Bertram Spence, go ahead.
This is Cranky from Cranky Life. Coach, several of your selections and tactical decisions have raised questions about whether performances and merit are truly driving your choices, or if there's more of an emphasis on maintaining a so-called balance in the squad. Can you explain the specific criteria you utilize to assess players for starting roles, particularly in the case of like a Tyrese Campbell, who has been consistently performing at club level, but has been overlooked in favor of players at the same club with limited club minutes or inconsistent national team performances? Is there a transparent merit-based system in place? And how is that applied in cases like Tyrese non-selection?
I think you might be comparing Tyrese with Kaheem Dixon, would that be correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think, we've been with the team a month, with the squad. We've been watching a lot of players, getting recruitment in place, the likes of Mothersill we brought in, and Tyrese Campbell, who we brought in for experience. Kaheem Dixon, in that instance, is someone we've known from the very beginning. Got a great move to Charlton. We've followed his progress there, speak to the manager regular about his progress. And he comes into the camps, he's a terrific trainer. And actually in the Unity Cup, Tyrese Campbell wasn't a part of that, Mothersill was, but we established Kaheem, we give him an opportunity, the same with Cephas, who's also not been a regular. And in the Unity Cup, they were absolutely excellent. The performances of Kaheem and Cephas were outstanding. And we want to do well in this competition. We have Damari Gray also, who can play on the left and plays on the left-hand side. And we've come to the Gold Cup wanting to win football matches, not to experiment and not to, Tyrese has come along as a newcomer. I think he got his citizenship a week before the World Cup qualifiers. And we've had an opportunity to see him in training. Unfortunately, because of the first result, we haven't had an opportunity. It's put a bit of pressure on winning football matches to progress. But what we're seeing in training is really delighting us. With all the young players, Mikel will testify to that. The young players that we've brought in are really giving the senior players and the regular players real competition for places. And you're absolutely right, and it's a great question. And what we will do after this Gold Cup is we will really sit down and study and go, okay, what are the 15 or 16 players who are going to take us forward to the World Cup qualifiers. And what about the 6 or 7 who need to make up the squad? That will give that great balance to the squad that we haven't got too much. So players are really disappointed in not being on the bench. And with young players coming in, the enthusiasm, Kaheem Dixon, Tyrese Campbell, Warner Brown, Roman Burrell, you know, they did really well in the Unity Cup. They're doing really well in training. And for the 3 camps that we've had, Unity Cup, World Cup qualifiers and the Gold Cup, we've had players coming and going, and we've changed every time. This is an important tournament. We want to win tomorrow. So I must put a team out there that I think will win the game.
We'd like to thank Coach McLaren and player Mikel Antonio for their time. Remember that you can find the complete conferences on the CONCACAF Media Hub platform. Thank you.
Thank you very much.